back to Market on Close. I'm Caroline Woods, and for Oliver Rennick, American Superconductor, ticker symbol AMSC, is rallying today and trading just below 5-year highs after a strong earnings report. For more on the numbers, Daniel McGahn, Chairman, President, and CEO of AMSC, joins us now. Daniel, thanks so much for joining the show.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
So I know you're an old friend of the show. You've been on before, but I just want to, for those people who are not familiar with AMSC, just give us a brief description.
We're really a grid resiliency play. So we see the electricity grid being asked to do things that it really isn't quite capable of doing yet today. It's happening in a variety of industries across the board, and electricity winds up being kind of the main source to allow for a lot of this growth. So we're here really to help our customers get more out of the existing electricity grid.
Okay. So it's a good day for shareholders. Shares are up, surging higher after earnings, swung to a profit, revenue growth of nearly 60% year over year. What's driving that growth?
Really across the board. So our different segments have all grown. Our organic growth has happened. We had an acquisition recently in the past couple quarters here. We've been able to expand our content to customers that we're delivering. The project sizes overall for us have grown. So kind of content or value per project has gone up as well. So kind of hitting on all cylinders. The business has reached a new record level for us. And we've been able to be consistent here. So over the past 6-7 quarters, we've really been out on this upward trajectory. And then the leverage is starting to come from the business as we had predicted, and I think a lot of investors had hoped. And now we're kind of at this new point, and we hope to see it, continue. We've been growing at about 25% annually when compounded over the past few years.
And based on the fact that you upped your guidance, it sounds like things are looking more upbeat. I'm curious, where is that business coming from? Because we talk a lot about power these days in terms of powering AI data centers. Are you able to capitalize on the need for that?
Yeah, the simple answer is yes. I think as you look at some of the macro trends in the more need for computation, the more need for data, and I think the more need for industrial capacity additionally in the US, are all triggers for us to help drive our pipeline, drive our order conversion, and drive future revenue. So we think we're in a really fantastic spot at this point. We're kind of a unique play in that we're really more of an American, that's why our American superconductor. A lot of our revenue comes from the US. Our supply chain principally comes from the US for large parts of our business. So we feel like we're a very kind of safe, fast-growing company that's well positioned to take advantage of what seems to be a very changing world.
Okay, I'm curious, you talk about being a safe, fast-growing company with a lot of revenues coming from the US. I see that you do work with the Navy as well, and I'm curious about how big of a threat Elon Musk and the DOGE team, the Department of Government Efficiency, is. Are you concerned about budget cuts at all from the White House?
And what we do is we provide solutions that help keep sailors out of harm's way that are in the fleet today, for ships that are in the fleet today. So our efforts are really directly linked to operational capability that exists right now. It's all novel technology, very exciting for the Navy, but we're really trying to enhance the capabilities of existing ships, of existing designs. And we think that that's a very, very safe play. I think that the world is getting more dangerous, not less. And I think that the move to increasing the capability of the defense in the country will probably increase. I know they're going to look at spending and all that, but we are on a critical platform that's at sea right now.
Okay. What about in terms of the overall administration, the new administration, though? Is the clean energy space really still a priority? Obviously, powering AI data centers, yes, but things like EVs, maybe not so much. How could that impact you?
Yeah, most of our clean energy play and what we do today is really in wind in India. A small fraction of our business is in Europe around renewables, which we think is going to continue to be driven. I think in the US, really what we're about is more industrial manufacturing capacity and the electricity requirement to enable that capacity to come online. So we're seeing a lot of growth across a number of industries that we serve, from data to utilities to chemicals to materials that there's a strong increase to create domestic capacity. And I think in some ways it's a move away from being more dependent upon China, trying to becoming less dependent on China. And there's a tremendous investment that we see that's happening in this country that we think should continue for the coming years.
Okay, so as a grid resiliency expert, I'm curious in terms of that, when we think about the impact of China, DeepSeek obviously hit the stage last week and has kind of shaken things up. There's this talk about cheaper AI, both in terms of making it, but also in terms of powering it, because it,
Right.
can be more efficient. How could that change the power play as we know it?
I think the technical analysis that I've read on, it really gets to a debate on how much is electricity demand going to grow. I don't think there's any thought that it's not going to grow. It's a question by how much. And I think that growth, that incremental growth that's projected to come, is really not solely dependent upon AI for us or which modality of AI winds up working. There's going to be a need for more computational power, and there's going to be a need for more electrical power to be able to supply to that. And that's really where we fit in. So our trend is a bit, I'll say, longer term, where we're looking at the cycle for the next 3 to 7 years on what could be invested in. And the grid itself is really at the heart of all those investments. You need the electrical power to be able to make that capability come online and be functional for the companies that we serve.
Okay, so what do investors need to know about the space as they think about, the grid not being capable of powering the AI revolution and even the EV revolution when it finally hits? We just constantly hear that it's just not capable yet.
Yeah, it's not designed with this intent, right? The way originally the grid was designed was almost like an aqueduct. All the water flows to where consumption occurs. Now you're trying to have ebbs and flows come in and out of that along the way. So where power demand is going to come from will be in different places than the grid was designed to serve. So the grid's going to have to evolve to be able to serve those needs. And similarly, on the generation side, different modalities of generation are now located in different parts than where the grid was really built. So there's going to be an evolution of the grid. There needs to be investment in that area. That seems to be happening. We're seeing a lot with industrial customers for us that are trying to expand their capability and need effective power, quality level of power to be able to deliver what they need to do for their customers.
Okay, all right. Well, investors clearly betting on AMSC based on the fact that shares are up more than 30% today, up more than 200% over the past 1 year. Daniel McGahn, Chairman, President, and CEO of AMSC, really appreciate your insights. Thanks so much for joining us.